This is a recording of my final exam for a frameworks course in my game development programming. This is using Lua and externally created files to create cutscenes in Engine. They're a little bit slow because I was under exam-based time constraints getting it all together. And I have to wait for each step to complete before I can move on to the next. Unfortunately, I didn't get quite all of them working for the exam, and I haven't revisited it since. So here, my airship is just flying alongside to ambush the other airship while it's docked at that factory. And upon arrival, it should line up and it would attempt to broadside it, but that is the part of the exam I had the most difficulty with. So now my camera is auto panning in. I haven't pressed anything else. I have a mechanical keyboard. I'm pretty sure my mic picks it up when I press anything. Yes, that ship's moving much too slow. So the approaching ship will slowly come into frame here as the camera lines up for a nice view of what would be a broadside attack. And though I admit I forgot how slow this was, so I'm remiss that I didn't write down some comedy for this. I'd look around with the camera as well, but I think that would screw up the cutscene. Cannonball lineup. Yeah, so 5. It says I'm in free cam mode. Oh yeah, there it comes. I tried graphing some parabolic motion by hand to time in with its turns, and it didn't work out quite so nicely. But I just like to wait till they all stop moving before moving on, like I said. Okay, so key 5 is the cannonball barrage that I didn't quite get running. So then we jump straight to this one running away after being shot down, and the other one circling around to catch up to it. This one was also a bit of hand-charted parabolas to try to math it out in the Lua, so it's fairly rough, the two of them turning and chasing each other. Our fleeing one will initially get quite far ahead, but the one in the back, once it turns properly, should get quite the speed boost to catch up, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's just hanging there in midair as it turns. Come on. Okay, that one's almost at its final position, I believe. Oh, there we go. Finally flying in. So the Lua involved could use a fair bit of touching up, really. And everybody's locked into place. I think this seems about right for where the camera should be. So if I start the final bit, the lead ship shoots a cannonball, which ideally hits this ship and ends up inside it or disappears sooner. Then we pan down to watch it slowly crash into the sea. Which would admittedly look a lot better with any texturing. And then once it crashes into the water, the camera will pan up to watch the fleeing airship. I think my camera positioning is a little bit awkward since I was impatient and moving it around manually some in a cutscene. You know, you never touch a cutscene, right? Who's ever heard of those being interactive? So some water texture would help there a lot. And we pan back up to that one flying away. And if you're still here with me, I appreciate your patience.